What's good? It's your boy Twiz.
This is how you share your games on PlayStation. Fuck you, that's how! Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's PlayStation 2013. 22 seconds, no ad spend, mocking Microsoft. Here's how you share a game. In January 2028, that stops being a thing you can do. And 3 weeks before the biggest protest against it has even started, Sony's already answered it. July 1st, Sony confirmed it. No new PlayStation games on disc from January 2028. And dude, people lost it. A petition passed, 120,000 subs canceled. Then on July 31st, Sony CFO got asked about it on an earnings call, and the answer wasn't, "We hear you." Instead, they said, "At this point in time, we don't see any impact on our business." Okay, full disclosure, I'm actually a PC guy. I buy digital all the time. I could sit this one out if I wanted to. But you know, they're right to be angry. I just think they're aiming it at the wrong thing. And to see why, you have to go back to 2013, because Sony didn't stumble into being the ownership company. They ran with it. Microsoft had just announced the Xbox One, a system that was always online and did check-ins. It even had used games restrictions. And the guy running the Xbox got asked what people with bad internet connection should do.
We've arguably gone the other way if we didn't do it, and fortunately we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device.
Buy a 360. That's the head of Xbox right there saying, "Hey man, just go buy an old one."
Note that in the PlayStation ad, the guy who hands the game over doesn't let go of it.
You know, that's actually the best catch in the whole thread. Sony made an ad about handing the game over where nobody ever lets go.
Upgrading for the sake of upgrading. When did Sony turn into Apple? Weren't you the company that clowned Netflix into oblivion for Xbox Live and Red Ring of Death and making everybody who wanted to play any of their meaningful games have to be on Xbox Live or constantly pulling from Xbox Live or what have you?
2028 isn't just a format change. It's Sony cashing in on a promise that it used to beat Microsoft. Now that there's no rival left to punish them, that is. And there's one more thing that makes this hurt, and it's got nothing to do with 2013.
They actively marketed a separate disk drive add-on for the PS5 Pro, encouraging people who'd already bought the console to spend even more money specifically so that they could keep enjoying physical games on it. That's a company knowingly selling you a bridge to a format they'd already decided to demolish, charging you extra for the privilege of standing on it a little bit longer before it collapsed underneath you. If they'd been upfront, even a year earlier, people could have made an informed decision about whether that add-on was actually worth buying. But
Okay, so here's the thing that I can actually verify. September 2024, the PlayStation Pro launches at $700 with no disc drive in it. Do you want one? Well, that's another $80, sold separately. July 2026, they announced the disc drive is coming to an end in 2028. I'm not telling you that they planned it. Sony never said what they decided. I'm just putting the 2 dates next to each other. Then there's the number. Sony reported last quarter 82% of full game sales on PlayStation were digital. 66 million games, 4 out of 5 downloads.
And I'll be straight, that number bounces. It's been in the low 70s. It was 83 last year. It's not a rocket, it's a tide.
And the compromise Sony's working on with retailers. A box on a shelf with the download code inside of it. You get the shelf back, but you don't get the game back.
The idea now is that not only will you own nothing and you'll like it, but you will pay ownership prices and own nothing and like it. This comes the same week that they announce, or within a week of them announcing that they had to remove 500 movies from the PlayStation libraries of films that people purchased because they lost the licensing to them.
Ownership prices. That's the part that gets me.
The strength. And compared to the high-end gaming PCs, our product is more affordable, so we don't feel that the disc itself is a strong factor for differentiation. Going forward, we can coexist peacefully with PC games. She also offered publishers a supposed workaround, stating that physical games could still technically exist in the form of boxes containing nothing but a download code instead of an actual disc, as if that's meaningfully different from what we're already angry about. And
Fortunately, we have a product for people who want physical games. It's called PlayStation 5.
That's the joke. It's also the news now.
might have made this entire situation worse for them rather than better, because in the process of trying to justify themselves to investors, they've confirmed something far more insidious than anything we already had official confirmation of. It turns out that this wasn't a decision that Sony had made recently in response to shifting habits. This was a decision they'd already made years ago, while they were still actively selling you a console with a disc drive built in, which we paid a premium to purchase over the digital-only version. They were doing this all without ever telling a single customer that the format they were paying a premium for wasn't actually going to be supported for anywhere near as long as every previous PlayStation generation before it.
Worse rather than better. That's the read I keep coming back to as well.
Sony doesn't care about your Blackout. Yeah, I said it. And before you think that's just clickbait, look at what they've actually done. Or more importantly, look at what they haven't done. For weeks now, PlayStation has been dealing with some of the biggest backlash I've seen from their community in a long time. I don't think Sony feels they have to earn anybody back. I think they believe if they just keep doing what they're doing, enough people will eventually move on. That's a dangerous mindset for any company to have, because once you stop feeling accountable to your customers, you stop listening to them.
That's not coming from me. That's coming from someone else who covers this stuff. He got there before I did.
Something they need to worry about. Why? Because companies don't ignore something that they believe is going to hurt them. They ignore things they believe will eventually go away. And I think that's exactly what Sony believes is going to happen here.
That part holds up, but watch where he takes it next, because this is where he and I split.
They think people will get angry, they'll post online, skip a few days, then come back the moment the next major exclusive drops. If that's true, then we've got a much bigger problem than a Black.
That version still needs you to fold. Sony's doesn't.
They only need 1% of you. That is the cold, hard truth from the gaming industry. Sony knows you are angry. They know you are protesting their decision to kill physical media. But analysts confirm they do not care. They are simply waiting for this storm to pass.
1%. That's what all the protesting adds up to, in their math anyway.
They easily recover the lost $40 million from the boycott. They only need 99% of you to comply. The 1% of protesters are just acceptable collateral damage.
That's not an insult, that's arithmetic. 6 days before that earnings call, July 26, the Xbox servers went down. A licensing server fell over. The 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, all 3 generations couldn't sign in, couldn't see your library, couldn't launch your games, including disc games, including single player offline. Look, check this out. That disc inside of your machine, yeah, that's right, that disc that you're holding right there, it won't run because a server somewhere else couldn't confirm that you were allowed.
If my disc can be stopped from working altogether, then it's worthless.
That's it in one line. If a disc can be switched off, it was never the thing you were protecting. And next month, Sony removes over 500 films out of people's libraries. Films that they bought and paid for. Gone over a licensing deal. Hey now, don't take my word for it. Sony wrote it down. Have a look.
buy a personal license to use digital products for private use, adding directly. This means you can use a digital product in the ways described in the license, but you do not own the digital product. And since March of 2026, that license isn't even permanent by default anymore.
Fuck it. I wouldn't have checked it myself because that's a big claim, and it's real. PlayStation's terms of service, the American one, you can use the product in ways it's described in the license, but you do not own it. Right there, section 10.2, revocable and no obligation to ever give you a replacement. That's a contract we all agree to without reading it.
Game does absolutely fucking nothing to ensure that the game remains playable over time. And that is my point. When I see people getting angry over not having a physical game, you shouldn't care. You should be able to download your game that you get the code to and burn it to a DVD or a Blu-ray disc if you want, or play it off of your hard drive. You should be fine having an only digital copy of your game. You should be excited that you have a digital only copy of your game. The problem is not the fact that you don't have a physical copy of it anymore. The problem is that they come with digital rights management that does not allow you to do what you want with what you bought and paid for. And the other problem with it is that it requires connectivity to an online server in order to work.
He has a point. You shouldn't care. And being a PC gamer, for the longest time, I haven't cared. Because I know that minus the online only games, any game that I want to play, if I really want it to, I can always get it.
No physical discs equals no second-hand market. Sony will have full control over the game prices. So yes, this is important. Two things can be true at the same time.
Two things can be true at the same time? Yeah, this is the one I can't get around.
Digital games can be owned and they can be traded, rented, sold, and purchased. Right? I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. That is the fight we need to be having. And what kills me is how easy it could be done. The technology has been here for years to enable digital-only ownership.
Digital-only ownership. Now that's the fight that we should be having.
With digital rights management, she would not be my kitty and I would not be her human. In order for you to have ownership of what you bought and paid for, it's not just about having something that's shiny that you can see in your hand. It is about buying products that are not sold with this type of crap. I'll give you an example. GOG, good old games, GOG.com. These are games that are sold with no DRM. You can go to GOG.com right now and you can buy games that are digital rights management free. No DRM, these are games that you can download and that you can copy and that you can burn to a piece of physical media yourself.
Something shiny you can hold. That's the part Sony is happy to give back. That's the cardboard box. And I gotta be honest about where I'm standing on all this because it's been easy for me to talk because we've been mostly looking at Sony. I'm fully aware that I don't own anything on Steam either. Not one game. Valve could take it all away tomorrow. I've been fine with that for years because it hasn't happened to me yet. And that's my whole security. But remember, on PC, I have choices. I can go somewhere else to buy games. Or if I really wanted to, I could sell to high seas. Yes, it's not perfect, but just having that as my backup is a deterrent for Valve, Steam, Epic, and whoever. It makes sure that they play fair because if they don't, I can go somewhere else to get my product. PlayStation, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, if they go all digital, you have nowhere else to go.
So for me, the real solution would be to come up with a digital Bill of Rights that would be legally enforceable. But there's a problem with this. Most people who are running the nations were at retirement age when the modem was invented. And even if they knew what the Wi-Fi was, I don't think that they would make a Bill of Rights that had the people's best interests at heart. Let's just say that
a digital Bill of Rights. That's a demand with no cardboard version. Ask for a license, not the plastic, and say the word resell out loud because honestly, that's what they're really killing. That's what they're going after. And nobody really mentions that part.
Go of the physical media. We need ownership. And we don't need Sony to do it. Begging Sony to listen to us is an exercise in futility. It wasn't that long ago when Sony was bragging that being able to hand a disc to a friend was a differentiation for Sony over Xbox.
That's what we should be asking for, not give us disc back. We need ownership, not a favor that Sony only grants us when the noise gets too loud, and then they try again a couple years later.
Looks like I'm just repairing my PS2 and playing old games forever.
You know what? Go ahead and do the Blackout. Seriously. Not because 7 days really dents any of their earnings, but because if the demand isn't loud enough, they're not going to think it's worth answering. I wish you luck. And if you're going dark on the 23rd, tell me what you're asking Sony for, not what you're refusing to buy. What you want them to promise. You know what? And if you think I got this wrong, if you truly believe in your heart that the disc is the fight and it's not just about the digital ownership, say so in the comments, man. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm your boy Twiz. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, and subscribe. Laters, y'all.